The fate of Russian military bases in Syria, including the key ports of Tartus, has been effectively sealed. According to Landsat satellite images published by OSINT analyst M.T. Anderson, Russian warships have retreated 8 kilometers from the shore. Russian ships left port. The images, taken on December the 8th and 9th, confirm that all Russian ships are at anchor in the Mediterranean. Dara Massicot, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, believes that the ships are leaving to ensure their safety amid the growing threat from Syrian rebels. Russian military expert Vasily Dandykin had previously said that the naval squadron had gone to the open sea due to an unpredictable situation in the region. The images published by M.T. Anderson were the first documentary confirmation of this information. The withdrawal of Russian ships from the Tartus underscores the precariousness of Russia's position in Syria. The fate of bases, including the Khmeimim air base, remains in question. Rebels, whom Russia has been fighting for nearly a decade, now occupy key positions in the region and could launch attacks on military installations. Of particular concern are the risks of the rebels capturing Russian equipment, including Su-34 and Su-35 fighters and bombers. If the bases are not evacuated in a timely manner, the military equipment may fall into the hands of the new authorities, which will be a significant blow to the prestige and capabilities of the Russian military-industrial complex. Tartus, as Russia's most important base in the Mediterranean, was key to maintaining operations in the Middle East. However, the current situation shows that Russia is losing control over the region, raising doubts about its ability to maintain its influence beyond the former Soviet Union. The decision on the fate of the bases in Syria will be decisive for Russia's further foreign policy strategy, but it is already obvious that its position in the region has weakened. Earlier, media reported that the bases in Tartus and Khmeimim will be withdrawn. Z channels confirmed the flight of the Russian Federation from Syria. It became known that the armed opposition had entered Tartus. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Syria under Assad, Mohammad Ghazi al-Jalali, stated that the issue of the presence of Russian bases in Syria would be decided by the new authorities. In addition, information has appeared in the media that Russia plans to secretly transport weapons from Syria on civilian ships, since passage through the Bosphorus is closed to its military ships.
In a rare moment of unity in a country torn apart by over a decade of war, Syrians flocked to Sadnaya from the country's west, east and south, looking for answers. The first place they rushed to when news broke that their longtime tormentor, Bashar Assad, had fallen was here, the Sadnaya prison, a place so notorious for its horrors it was long known as the slaughterhouse. For the past 2 days, all have been looking for a sign of their loved ones, some who disappeared into the secretive prison just outside Damascus years ago, even decades ago, with hardly a word from them since. But hope was giving way to despair. Almost nothing but empty cells have been found in the sprawling compound. An undetermined number of prisoners were released on the night of the fall of Damascus, a fraction of the number believed to have been held there. There is not a home, there is not a woman in Syria who didn't lose a brother, a child or a husband, said Karia Ismail, 54, a native of Idlib who lived in Damascus. 2 of her sons were detained in the early days of the protests against Assad, the last one when he came to visit when she herself was detained. Ismail spent 8 months in Adra prison, northeast of Damascus, after she was accused of helping her son defect from military service. With sledgehammers, shovels and drills, men were frantically pounding holes in the walls and floors on Monday around the buildings of the sprawling complex, shaped as Y, looking for what they believed were secret dungeons, or chasing sounds they thought they heard from underground. Dozens of men tried to force a metal gate open until they realized it led only to more cells upstairs. Others called on the insurgents, who were guarding the prison, to use their rifle to force open a closed door. At another end of the prison, a handful of men gathered around an opening in the basement's floor, digging a hole into what looked sewage opening. And in a scene that was on repeat throughout the day, hundreds cheered as men with sledgehammers and shovels hit a huge column in the center of one of the buildings. Hundreds more ran to see when word went out a secret cell was located. But there was no sign of detainees, and tears and loud sighs replaced the celebrations. Where is everyone? Where are everyone's children? Where are they? Where are our children? Ghada Assad, a native of Aleppo, broke down in tears. Her brother was detained in 2011 and she had no explanation for the reason.